What's up, friends? It's Firecore, and welcome back to another Wi-Fi battle video. Today we're going to be using a mon that is slept on inside of the Wi-Fi meta or battle spot singles metagame. That's going to be Whishcash. So we have misspelled Johnny Cash over here on a battle spot singles team. So instead of having all PU mons like last time, where none of them were like insanely good, we have a team of like half mons, which are, not seen as much, and then we have some pretty basic bitch battle spot singles mons. But inside the video, we actually put in work with all of them, so I'll hope you will keep on the lookout for that. But first, let's break it down. First, we're going to have a Whishcash named Johnny Cash, the singer. I misspelled it though. This has a Rinnoberry, and it makes it so at Dynamax, or when we have times 2 HP, we can live a Grassy Glide from Life Orb Rillaboom, which is cool. We're adamant, so we can kill Rillaboom with a max airstream coming off of a bounce after +1. So we go for a DD, they switch in the Rillaboom or something, we can guarantee a kill with bounce. So yeah, as you can see, Whishcash is not that good stat-wise, but since he does have access to Dragon Dance and bounce, inside of a Dynamax meta, he's definitely a lot better inside of this meta than he is inside of normal Pokemon, since normally he's like ZU. I think he's an S tier though. I think he is. We have the Oblivious ability, so we don't have to worry about Intimidate, which I guess is another benefit. We can't get annoyed by Landraces. So that is going to be the main mon. Next is going to be Arthur. Very basic Doublade. Really not much to say here. You could Dynamax with him since he has close combat and Iron Head, so we can get plus attack or plus defense, but I kind of just wanted to use a Doublade instead of an Aegislash, since I like this mon more, personally. King Arthur is the reason for the nickname, of course. We got Delizzo. The name is kind of probably... I'm not going to explain the name. This is a Power Herb Meteor Beam Cradily, which of course has Storm Drain, since if not, we kind of just lose to Dracovish. Like, I'm pretty sure Arthur over here might be able to live. Well, I'm pretty sure he can live a Vicious Rend, but you never know. You never know with that mon. So I have... And also we can't kill it, since I don't think... Swords Dance, even a Swords Dance boosted close combat is probably going to do like 70. Not too much. But we got Delizzo over here with Storm Drain. Of course, we eat the water type attacks, get +1 special attack, and this mon is a monster under Dynamax because it has access to Sludge Wave. So it turns instead of Max Ooze and gives you +1 special attack. So inside the off chance, we can get our Storm Drain boost, our Meteor Beam boost, since we have Meteor Beam with the Power Herb, pretty cool, and then some Sludge Wave damage on there. I think this mon is kind of like Johnny Cash or Whishcash. They have a lot of potential, like inside the lower tiers, but higher tiers are not going to see them that much. This is like, this is why I kind of like Dynamax, but also hate it. It makes certain mons so overpowered it's not even funny, like Cinderace, who doesn't need to have all that shit. But then you have lower tier mons, which I think can have a chance. Specifically these two. Alright, we're done with the cool mons. Let's go inside of the more glue. Yeah, let's call these mons the glue. We have Beady Beady, which means light electric shock. I also am using this because of an anime reference. Tell me inside the comments if you know the reference. This is a Zapdos. Going off of the Smogon analysis of battle spot singles mons, Zapdos is like S tier right where Cinderace is, which makes sense. It has really good special attack, has access to max airstream, and stab max airstream is always pretty good. Just look at Cinderace. Yep, but we are just using a sharp beak Zapdos who's going to come in there and go for Roost, Heat Wave, and all that kind of stuff. I really like this set a lot. And I know it's standard, but I wanted to use a Zapdos, since 2 videos ago when I used Galarian Zapdos, it didn't do everything I needed. All I need is the stab Hurricanes coming off of max airstream. Pretty cool. Then after that we have Blaziken, named BKC. BKC for Blazing Kickin' Chicken. Quote me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the lower tier player, not lower tier, older generation metagame player, BKC, you can check him out on YouTube. Pretty sure the meaning behind his name is Blazing Kicking Chicken. And Blaziken is a Blazing Kickin' Chicken, so, this is going to be a Life Orb Protect Blaziken. It's not as good as it is inside of like OU or UU or stuff like that, partly because Dynamax moves can hit through Protect, but I still want to use a Protect Blaziken, since every single Blaziken that I've seen has been running Brave Bird, so of course it can get faster. You know, pair up the speed and stuff. I'm not going to be doing that. I just didn't want to have a Dynamax Sweeper, a Dynamax Sweeper, a Dynamax Sweeper, kind of, if you want. I want to have one mon that doesn't focus on Dynamax Sweeping, even though it's probably good to prepare for that. Whatever. Yeah, so it has a Adamant in nature. Don't know if that's good or not. Probably missing out on some necessary speeds, but whatever. I wanted to use this. Flare Blitz, Close Combat, and Earthquake, since other than that we have not too many mons if Johnny Cash isn't on the team, and it's always good to have an Earthquaker if you decide, you know, I don't really want to bring Whishcash with me, and if not, you don't really have a strong physical ground type move. Yeah, and then finally we have Old Man, due to the book Old Man in the Sea, where the character inside of the book catches a marlin, or a swordfish, which is the fish that Tapu Fini is based on, I assume. This is going to be a Choice Scarf Tapu Fini. Misty Surge is always cool for, I don't know, basically anything. There aren't too many mons out there that are going to poison you, since most Dynamax moves have like buffs and stuff like that, and Toxic isn't used as much. But you know, maybe inside the off chance they're using something like Toxtricity, you could switch out inside of your Delizzo or something like that to eat the hit. We have Moonblast, Surf, Ice Beam, and Trick. Trick is not as useful as I anticipated, but you know, it's still a good tech to have for certain mons. So yes, this is going to be the team. Hope you all enjoy. Let's get inside the breakdown. Well, this isn't the breakdown. Let's get inside the battles. Alright, welcome back to another Wi-Fi battle commentation. As I said before, we're using Whishcash. We're going against this disgusting team, and I just lead off with my Cradilly, since I kind of just want to fuck them up with Cradilly. Okay, so here's my reasoning. Look at that Dracovish. Do you know what people do on Wi-Fi if they don't see a Pokemon that has Water Absorb, or seemingly doesn't have Water Absorb? They go inside a Cradilly. No, they don't use Cradilly. They go inside a Dracovish, and they prepare to fuck me up. So I started off with the funniest game first, since so we have a Gloria over here, number 666, looking like a true gangster with that completed Pokédex helmet. At least I think that's what that drip is. So of course my opponent leads off with the Dracovish. That's just obvious. Shiny Dracovish, so you know, pretty ugly. Just not a big fan of the whole grayed out thing right here. And this just goes to show you why you don't fuck with Cradilly. So Barry over here makes the genius decision to, instead of looking up what Cradilly does, he's just like, not Water Absorb. But nope. So he raises my special attack. I go for Meteor Beam, and I'm at +1 special attack, get to +2 special attack. As long as I hit this, I think you know what's happening to this poor, most likely Bandit or Scarf Dracovish. So I power up my Power Herb, powers up my Meteor Beam, and I fire off one of the coolest looking moves inside the entire game. And there goes the Dracovish. So I am at +2 right now, and full HP. So yeah, this is the reason why I brought Cradilly inside of this game and just put him on the team. So he goes inside an Excadrill, thinking that my max HP Cradilly is going to die to an Iron Head. But nope, I have no switch-ins here, because everything's going to take too much, especially my Whishcash. So then I just go for the Earth Power over here, since there's no reason for me to Dynamax, since I kind of want to save that for, you know, the star of the show, being Whishcash. Yes. So it goes to the Iron Head here. Really expected it to flinch, but it doesn't. So I'm able to fire off a +2 Earth Power on this Excadrill. It does turn out to be Focus Sash, but that still doesn't matter. That's actually perfect, because now it's time for my Whishcash to come in and go for the Max Airstream, taking out my opponent, leaving him in shambles. I go for the Giga Drain here, which is the only play I should have done, since in the end he does turn out to have a Flying type as his final Mon. Alright. So I go into my Whishcash over here, and I'm going to go for the Dynamaxed Bounce, or Max Airstream, get some speed so I can outspeed the next Mon. And then it's kind of just all downhill for my poor opponent over here. You know, I might only have base 75 attack, but this little fish, or is he an amphibian? looks like a mudfish. Pretty sure those can breathe on land. Whatever. This dude has a big, big heart. So thank you, Whishcash, for putting in this work. Because I just immediately Dynamax and go for the max Airstream, getting +1 speed after I eat this hit, which does more damage than I would like. Like, come on, man. I'm Dynamax. You can't be doing that much to me. Okay, part of me really did want to go for the Dragon Dance, just to try to sweep with them, but it didn't really affect too much inside the end. Alright, so his next mon is going to be his flying type, like previously said, and if you remember the beginning of the battle, when I showed it, it is going to be his Dragonite, since I'm pretty sure that was his only flying type that he had on the team. Alright, so here's big Dragonite. Who would think that Whishcash is coming in here going against Dracovich's, Excadrills, and Dragonites. Again, it's the Dynamax meta, so there's really not much skill in going for max Airstream and winning, but whatever. So my opponent Dynamaxes here, and I'm like, I don't think I'm dying to this. So I go for a max Airstream, and this mon's just going to become more of a martyr. Not really a martyr, a sack, yeah. It's going to become this big old sack, so I can get as much chip as possible, and waste his Dynamax to go inside of my Finny and take him out. So I live at 6 HP, because this is Whishcash right here. I have no investment inside of any defensive stats, besides like 4 in defense, but I doubt that helped. So then, of course, I'm going to go for the max guard here and just stall him out as much as possible, which is absolutely hilarious that this Whishcash is causing me to win the game. I think I would have lost this game if I had to deal with this mon, because I don't know what move he had, but I think Earthquake would have 2-shot the Dragonite. No. Yeah, Moonblast might not have taken him out. He was faster than me due to the max Airstreams, so he probably would have won since I'm not Dynamaxed. But there we go. He goes for the max Windworm, and now since he has no more Dynamax turns, it's going to be a Tapu Fini versus a Dragonite, which we all probably know the how this is going to end. Alright, so I immediately go inside of Tapu Fini. No reason to do anything besides just Moonblast here, even though I probably should Ice Beamed. And it doesn't matter. Either is going to kill, unless it has... Yeah, let's just say it's Yachi Berry, but it's Life Orb. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I go for the Moonblast over here, and am going to take out the Dragonite. So that's going to be the first game. Put in that serious work, which is absolutely amazing. Wait, did my screen freeze? Hey, screen, are you okay? Oh, okay. So my opponent decides to leave the battlefield and leave me inside the dirt, which hurts my feelings, but I fuck him up. Alright, next game is going to be against this threatening team. So I lead off with my... What the fuck did I lead off with? Oh yeah, my, sorry, I kind of cut that out. I lead it off with my Zapdos, and then my Tapu Fini, and then my Doublade inside the end. Yeah, it was, my opponent was taking a really long time, so I decided just to cut all that out. Well, I was taking a long time, and that was pretty much it. Alright, so we're going against Zuri. Is that a JoJo reference right there? Okay, so this battle is a lot scarier, since this looks like a full team of Dynamax Sweepers, when the other team was more of a... I don't know, bunch of just basic sweepers. Like, I don't think Dracovish is going to Dynamax sweep me. Excadrill's probably not. The Dragonite was an exception, though. So I immediately go inside of my Zapdos, and I'm just glad that I was able to go inside of this first, since it's a Zapdos. No way in hell that I'm going for anything but my Shark Beak boosted Hurricane, which is like 130 base power. My opponent tries to go into his ground type, which is absolutely useless, since I'm just going to go for this max Airstream, insane base power, and leave him in shambles, pretty much. Pretty sure it doesn't even 2-shot, though. Yeah, it doesn't. But it's fine, I'm able to get all the speed I need to take out this Mon. So I immediately just go for an Airstream, no reason to predict. This Mon is way strong inside this meta. So I'm already telling myself inside my head, like, did I win? Did I win right here? But no. Some later stuff happens. I'm not going to say if it made me win, but I did not win at this particular point. So I go for a max Airstream over here, and... well, let's just see. Let's just see. Bong! So, it's not a high roll. Just got my hands on a crit. Little unfortunate for him. Wouldn't have really affected me too much. He might actually have went for a yawn, so could have helped him out. But unfortunately, I crit him. He doesn't leave the game like the Dracovish player does, though. Which I don't really understand the reason for leaving games, since it's not like I'm going to gain elo or you're going to lose points. Well, you might lose points, but still, like, I don't know. Ranking systems make people really weird. So I just go for a Thunderbolt over here. I take a look at his team and I'm like, yep, free Thunderbolt. Actually, no, I should go for an Airstream, right? Yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking. Alright, max Airstream over here. I think Salamence learns Stone Edge or stuff like that. So I don't really know what he goes for here. I just Dynamax myself. He Dynamaxes himself. No, I'm Dynamaxed. He Dynamaxes. And I'm pretty sure it goes for the max Wimworm. But of course, I have to go first since, you know, I'm Dynamaxed up. I get another 2-hit KO, which it's kind of funny that the Dynamax Mon takes about as much as the Swampert did at normal. So that's just the power of Swampert right there. He goes for the Wimworm and does two-shot me. And then it's pretty much downhill for me since, well, his last Mon is it kind of messes up the rest of my team. But if I only saved the right Mon and didn't make the stupidest play I could have made, but you know, whatever. So I go for the Thunderbolt over here. He goes for the Wimworm, and since I brought my Doublade and I really wanted to showcase this thing, I decided to myself, you know, it's time for Doublade. So I immediately go inside a Doublade and I'm like, you know, I think I'll just be able to take this dude out with a Shadow Sneak. But then I remember he's Dynamaxed, and I'm like, okay, it's not killing. It's not killing. I haven't calced this yet, so please do that for me, so I can know how stupid I was for not doing that. But I actually go for the Iron Head here, since I'm like, he can't kill me. I'm max physical defense. And, yep, so now you just see me going between the two thinking. But I end up going for the Iron Head over here, and unfortunately, my opponent comes in with a red move. I think you probably know what I mean. He got a Max Flare, and it does end up taking out my Doublade. Now, this is because of a crit, but I don't know if this mattered. Like, if it was off of a Fire Blast or something, or a special attack, like a mixed Salamence, then sure. But if it was like a Fire Fang or something like that, really unfortunate. So I probably should have just went inside my fucking Finny. I really don't know why I didn't. Airstream wouldn't have killed me, and then I could have went inside of my my very defensive Doublade to take out his last Mon, which does not run the move it usually runs inside of OU, being knockoff or anything to hit that Mon. Yeah, so very unfortunate for me. I made the stupidest play of a lifetime. It didn't, well, it cost me the game, but, you know, I had fun and I at least learned, I learned my problem. So I end up going for an Ice Beam here, I'm pretty sure. Do I go for an Ice Beam or do I go for a Moonblast? Come on, Volt Fire Core. Okay, so I end up going for a Moonblast, which I don't know if it is the best play, since, you know, since his last Mon does have fairly low special or defense. You probably know what I'm talking about right now. It's the only Pokemon that has 181 base attack. It's gonna be Kartana. Yep. So if I save my Doublade, since this thing does not run knockoff into the Battle Spot singles metagame, it usually runs Sacred Sword, Leaf Blade, Aerial Ace, and Smart Strike, I think I could have just taken it out with a Shadow Sneak and maybe a Close Combat. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Ice Beam also would have killed that thing, or at least gotten it, you know, fairly close. But whatever, I could have won if I just didn't go inside my Doublade to showcase it, but it's fine. Actually, never mind, he just fucking died. Alright, the next game we have is against this team, which is insane. So I go inside my Whishcash, because I'm like, you know, it's time. This team has basically nothing for lead Whishcash. He might be like a dual screen Coco set. I have Rinnoberry just in case he's Grass Knot. I don't think those run Grass Knot too often. As long as he doesn't go inside of his Tangrowth, I feel pretty comfortable. And even if he does, I do have Bounce, but off of a max physical defense Tangrowth, I have a feeling +1 bounce or even neutral bounce is... No, neutral bounce or +1 bounce is going to do literally nothing. So my opponent over here has some very nice looking hair, you know, just looking at it. It's pretty cool. He leads off with his Tapu Riki. That is a reference to the Xenoblade 1 game, where one of the characters has some weird, like, maraca looking shit. And this looks like Ricky, since it has, like, a weird mohawk, too. I'm just now noticing it does really look like Ricky. So, I make the boneheaded play to go for a DD up, but, you know, maybe it wasn't the boneheaded play, since it did do what I wanted it to do. But, you know, in the off chance he was like Grass Knot or something, I would have lost immediately. But he ends up going for a U-turn, so I assume he's either a dual screen set or something. Something weird. But now it's the rest of his team versus my Dragon Danced Whishcash. So I'm looking at this now and I'm like, I don't see a Tangrowth yet. Like, would he bring Togekiss, Tangrowth, and Tapu Koko? I don't think so, so I think... depending on his mons, I might have a good chance on taking this dude out. So I just go for a Dynamax here and go for the Max Geyser. And I'm pretty sure this is guaranteed to kill him, since, again, this is a +1 stab water move. But again, this is a Whishcash, so I don't even remember. Let's see. The water move does, okay. A little sad +1 Whishcash, but, you know, now you have your rain up. So now you're getting a +1.5 boost. He tries to flinch me, which wouldn't have done that much, but even if he can't outspeed me. Even though I don't really... I think at Scarf, he's a guaranteed faster, so I don't really understand why you would run Air Slash on I don't know. Maybe depending on a set. I feel inside the Dynamax meta, though, it's like best to run Scarf, since you can flinch a lot of really annoying mons. But I guess these dudes don't want to run hacks. They'll probably run Thunder Wave. Be even more hacksy. So I go for the Airstream here, since I'm like, you know, I want to be sure that I can outspeed the next mon. I have the rain up. I don't really care. And also, since the Togekiss was kind of low, it's kind of pointless for me to go for a water move on it when I could get the benefit of that. So he actually turns out to be Scarf on his Garchomp and crits me. But you know... it is depressing that a Scarf Garchomp is faster than a +2 Whishcash. Well, it's not sad, but, you know, this mon needs, like, Swift Swim, or, you know, in my opinion, I think he should get huge power. Like, I know having, what would that be, like, base 150 attack would be a little crazy, but, you know, why not? I like this mon, and he's definitely one of the worst water grounds, if not the worst. So he goes inside of his Koko over here. I, of course, leave my gigantified state, and as you can probably expect, I am just not inside of a position to predict or do anything, so I'm just going to sweep through the rest of his team with my Whishcash. Alright, so I end up going for Earthquake here. I don't need to predict or anything. There goes the Earthquake. There goes the Koko. Yes, I was really happy right here, since I was able to take out an entire team with my Whishcash. So, successful with the video, took out a bunch of really crazy mons. Well, into the first game we kind of destroyed... Wait a minute, no. No, it can't be. No! Yep, so my opponent's a bitch again and decides to run away without giving me the win. But I still got the win, so I'm fine with it. So we got kind of a sweep with Cradilly. He put in most of the work there, and then Whishcash cleaned up. And then like a full Whishcash sweep. Next game, we have this menace, who looks like he has... oh my god. This game taught me the power of Rhyperior, I'm just going to say. So I go inside of my Cradilly, since he has literally no switch-ins. I don't think he can kill me with any one hit. I really don't. He's going to have to be... Yeah, I literally think all of his Pokemon can't kill Cradilly in one hit. That's just the power of Cradilly. Oh man, this Mon, I'm going to be using this inside the future, but a little bit later inside the future. So he ends up leading off with the probably worst thing he could have led off with for himself, because now I have the opportunity to try to sweep him with my Cradilly early on. But I don't think I did anything. I think I just Meteor Beamed here. I didn't really care if he went inside of a counter or something. I just kind of wanted the +1 special attack. since again, this is still a Cradily. Knowing me on Showdown, I would have Giga Drained here, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. Especially inside of this metagame, you don't know if people are going to bring certain Mons, so it's not like, oh, he brought Rhyperior. He might bring some other Mon. So I go for the Meteor Beam here. Like, sure, it's going to be fairly weak, but I do have Giga Drain after this, and we're inside of a very good situation to get another Cradily massacre, a Cradily slaughter. Alright, so my opponent then proceeds to go for the Dynamax this turn, which kind of makes sense. This is a solid Rock Rhyperior, and I had a feeling that it was going to be like Weakness Policy or something like that. But I didn't really care, so I just went for the Giga Drain to try to do as much damage as possible. And he goes for the Max Steel Spike, which of course is going to kill me, since this is still a Rhyperior. Man, I think Dynamax just makes certain Mons, like, way better, even if they have, like, crappy speed. Like, Glacier instead of OU. Unviable, UU, he's like an RU Mon right now. But with Dynamax, that defense with all of that, like, just insane power makes him pretty good on, like, a Weakness Policy set or something like that. Man, he needs, like, Aerial Ace so he can get speed. So I go into my Lele over here, and I'm pretty sure I just go for the Surf, since literally his 2 Mons so far get fucked up by Lele. Finny, sorry. I don't know if I've called it Lele before. But I'm just going to go for a Surf over here. Don't need a Dynamax. Don't need to do anything like that. I'm just coming in here and firing off a really powerful Surf. Now, a pretty funny interaction happens over here. So he goes hard inside of his his Mimikyu. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Mimikyu, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's spelled like Mimikyu inside of Japanese. At least it looks like it. Mimikyu, maybe. Okay, so he goes hard inside of this, destroys his disguise, which I don't really understand. I go for another Surf. No reason to do anything besides that. So my opponent over here actually is a Trick Room Mimikyu. I get a crit, but it doesn't really matter too much. It would have 2-shot regardless. He goes for a Trick Room, and I'm like, oh hell no. Oh hell no. I'm not going to get fucked up by no Rhyperior who's going to come in here and take my entire life. So I have 4 turns that I need to stall here. So I go inside of my Zapdos. Yep. Also, as you guys can see, I never once brought a team full of just the broken Mons, or the really good ones. I never brought a team of the Blaziken, the Zapdos, and the Lele. Finny! I brought a mixture. Sometimes brought 2 Mons that are like and then sometimes brought only 1. And they've put in consistent work inside every single game. Except Doublade, but, you know, he's an exception. So I'm just going to spam Roost here since I really don't want to deal with this thing. I don't want to have any kind of Rhyperior coming in here and messing me up. I literally just spam Roost. I have no reason to do anything besides spam Roost. I'm actually pretty sure I actually go for a Max Guard here. Yeah, I go for a Max Guard so it doesn't die to its Life Orb, so I can stall even more turns. Because if I do this, then I can kill it next turn with a Max Airstream and get that last final amount of damage on the Rhyperior. And also be able to kill it with my Finny. Alright, so I go for the Max Guard here. Of course, it can't hit me. Trick Room dies next turn. And that's pretty much the game. I don't think he has any way to win this. Yeah. And this is the final game. So when this is wrapping up, I'll just state this now. So I actually do have a couple epic teams that I'm whipping up inside the background. I would always like recommendations for new Mons, since I'm just going to use the Mons that I personally like to use. The ones that are on like my favorite Pokemon list and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, if you don't want me to be using those or a specific Mon, I'm perfectly fine, you know, doing stuff like that. I just want to make everyone inside of the community watching my videos, which is very small, be able to get the Mon they want showcased. And I'll try not to bring shame to the name of your favorite Pokemon. So here's this Rhyperior. It has no Trick Room no longer, so it is time to end this Rhyperior. Doesn't matter how bulky you are not living this Airstream, bud. Yep, but that is going to be the video, guys. We got pretty much undefeated. I did cut out one battle, but that was more just because, well, it wasn't really fun to watch. I did win it, but it wasn't fun to watch. Yep, but with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Oh, wait, I got the Charizard. Ah, I totally forgot this thing. Man, I was about to end the video. I was about to end the video right here. Alright, so my opponent over here is going to get knocked out with the Thunderbolt, and even if he doesn't, I have Serve. Okay, I was being a little too hasty. Alright, that's going to wrap up the video. Good damn. Alright, but with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and keep on the lookout for my videos.